those here present, the Secretary to Niger State Government, the Secretary General of the NP, and members of the press, the Government House this afternoon, and the Canadian teachers, federal science teachers, drawn from the distinguished delegation to Government House. The delegation,
admire in the sense that I've not heard someone talking of the governor, this and that, which means the governor is very close to the heart of the people, and it's not just sitting on the high seat. He's Gov't and computer science, and talking about health. We have a specialist in health science, Michael Wozniak, will be addressed. We also person, ECOM, you at that moment, give us a self-introduction so that we can proceed. States of the Federation, courtesy of a collaboration between the Nigerian Union of Teachers and the Canadian Teachers Federation by way of mounting a workshop for these teachers. The Nigerian Union of Teachers, in its own little way, decided to assist government in ensuring that we also drill our teachers. We take the initiative by ourselves, so that by the time we will ask government to follow suit, we will have enough ground to say so. So we decided to do it by ourselves by inviting these teachers to really brush them up in some of the areas that we discover from our own experience in teaching. There are in all subjects there are some difficult areas, difficult topics that at times are not easy to handle, and so we decided to pick such and then drill them as we can. It's unfortunate that we've not had the resources like government would have wished to do in terms of getting virtually all the teachers on board, but we felt we should start somewhere. And so this program is being run by us and the CTF, the Canadian Teachers Federation, nationwide. We decided to split it into two. We started from the southern parts of the nation and was hosted by the Cross River State government. So that one ended last weekend, and then the northern section starts this time. We knew that in spite of the fact that there is strike going on, this is our internal thing, and so we decided to even use this chance much better to show government that in spite of the strike action, we are still looking inwards to ensure that we are even ready. Any moment government will release us to go back to classes. So we felt we should make it known to you that your state, that we are very happy that your state is hosting us, and hope that we will get the best from these professionals that are coming from Canada. It wasn't very fine that we didn't think it wise that we just stick into Niger State and go, especially when we are talking of the international visit, that it was necessary we give you the honor of being duly informed that these people are in your own domain. That is precisely the first aspect that we have done, and those teachers because before you open your eyes and close, the lion would have taken it, and it doesn't reach us. But in terms of the number, Niger State has the largest number. So sir, that is that. The other one was to equally use this one stone to try and kill two birds. Because there is no way we would come in here and leave without question coming from the fact that what is happening here with NUT and the school system. And we felt by the very special position that the chief servant has in this country when it concerns the governors in the north and Governors Forum generally. There is need for us to really brief you properly on what is happening. We say so because we've discovered that there is a lot of misunderstanding from all quarters. So if we have an opportunity of this nature, we just present the matter clearly so we'll know exactly what is happening. The position of the teacher salary structure, I don't want to bring about the history because it's a long thing, but we started in 1991, and by the time that was really the era of the military, and the national of this TSM to opt into teaching because with the wages I talked about in the country, the federal government, in spite of the fact that labor at the federal level will struggle for minimum wage, it has never come a time that federal government will release minimum wage circular and compel states to pay. All that government used to do is after the struggle, it will release the circular for the federal workers. And what the NLC would do is to invite states councils and now give those things, go back to your states and see how you'll be able to lobby your state to join. We felt that was also the way the government would do. So we asked federal government, release this thing and pay your teachers. What we are now going to do is to take that template and go back to our states so that it is not a free-for-all fight. We don't have to go and start and demand something that is unimaginable at the state level, and the battle will be so prolonged. So give us these templates, we'll now go to states and now see there are some states that will willingly adopt it, there are some that will adapt it to their own situation, and so on. But it would have solved the problem, because once the federal government had come up with that circular, we would all have gone back to our classes, and meeting with the states would have been like we used to do, very quietly, and we would not have disrupted the school system. But very, very unluckily for us, while we thought this was the best that we could do to Nigeria because of the interest we had for our children, the reverse was the case. People now started interpreting that the NUT is asking the federal government to issue circular and compel states to pay. And we continue to ask, there has never been an occasion anywhere, even in write-ups, that such a position has been canvassed by the union. I felt it is necessary we clear that before the chief servants, whom we know will have a serious privilege of addressing that matter at another forum for purpose of clarification. Your Excellency, sir, I want to also mention that there is another area of confusion. And the confusion now, which from the angle of the union, we regard it as an afterthought. The area, because the federal government is not sincere with us, the federal government that we worked together, who knew that there was federalism right from 1991, and told us do this, we did it, submit memo, we submitted, take this to committee, we did, go to NC, we did, and so on. The federalism was still on ground. Let us sort it out, take it to Salaries and Wages Commission, we did. At the time that the ball is almost being scored, it's just at the goalpost. We are now changing the goalpost. So we say government is not sincere, and in an attempt to ensure that it is not implemented, we now remember that Nigeria is a federation. But we have circumvented that by saying, don't give any circular to states to pay. Even if you want to release the circular to your federal workers, and maybe don't give it to us. We will maybe somewhere along the line see the circular dropped in a bush or anywhere, we will pick it and use it as a template. That is one. Government is now putting patriotism in the pedestal. Who now is more patriotic? Is it the union that wants to control the whole thing at one point, so that you just blow whistle and others go back to school? Or the government that wants to decentralize it to 37 points, and so that you now have 37 war points, war fronts? And at that moment, once we decide to go back to states, federal government will not have the face again to ask the union, because whether you will like it or not, it is the Nigerian teachers, not Niger state teachers, not any state teacher. The outsiders, outside world will know that schools in Nigeria are closed. Nobody will mention states. And so at that level, the federal government will no more have the moral guts to tell us, call off or do this. No, government, don't worry. You are saying we should go back to states. We are now a state. We've taken your directive. but then it will be much more dangerous to the system. That is in terms of prolonging the strike, because there is no position, nowhere the union will call off the strike while saying, okay, let us call off the strike, we'll go back to state. We will just move from the federal to state. As we are, the status quo will remain, but the war front will now be multiplied into 27 places. We went through our register and discovered that the chief servant was once our public secretary, and he rose up to, in fact, he was combining PopSec and national rep. So if we talk till tomorrow, we feel very comfortable that we are discussing with our own colleagues. And of course, that is why we felt a little bit aggrieved to hear that one of our own wants to sack us. So we say, if we come from one of our own, then we don't know that we are not safe. Those that don't even know us will kill us then. So we want to say that the situation in Niger State regarding the qualified and unqualified teachers is that this structure, in fact, if you don't have any qualified teacher in Niger State, then you are lucky, because it means you will not pay any TSS, because the TSS is professional for professional teachers. So whether you have only one, if you have only one professional teacher, it means you will pay for only that one person. That is the position. So it means you won't even have problems. And therefore, the idea of even having the headache of sacking them wouldn't arise, because they wouldn't even have anything from you.
And then came up back to Minas through the process of vehicle. We've had a nice chance to see much of your country. We've had chances to interact with many of your people, and we've been quite impressed with the level of the teachers that we've been dealing with through the NUT, both in Calabar and we hope again in this workshop here today. I was saying this morning we've come at a difficult time for the NUT in their attempts to achieve a fair and equitable teacher salary schedule, and we have at various times in our country gone through teacher strikes and teacher labor relations. I believe in Ontario, where 3 of our team are from, they're in the process next year of going through much the same process that the Nigerian Union of Teachers is going through as well. So we would like to wish them continued success in their attempts. It's been a very great pleasure to be here in Mina. A very great pleasure to meet you, sir. And I'd like to thank the wise counsel of Sir Israel Obadale and Ms. Nana Okonkwo for keeping us on the pathway to Nigerian friendship. So thank you from the behalf of the Canadian Teachers Federation for the opportunity to be here and to interact with Nigerian teachers and Nigerian people and the Nigerian government. So thank you, sir.
You know how it pinches. You know the terrain that we walk. A lot of deprivations on our side. So many things, good things in life, we don't have it because of the environment that we walk. One, the locality in terms of the villages, how remote they are. Then not to talk of the classrooms, how dilapidated they are, and so on. There are lots of deprivations. We want to request you, sir, that you use your own offices, first based on your experience before, and now from the stand position you are, to present our case most passionately and positively to the powers that be, that we are looking towards a situation we can resolve the matter very easily at the center, so that we can now go back. That it will be much more problematic if we go back to states, and there will be a lot of crises here and there in the states throughout. That there should be a way that we handle the matter centrally and get it.
Look at, I gave 2 telephone numbers to the general public, but anybody who has a problem, in fact, if it is your wife, the husband beating his wife, and she wants to let me know quickly so that I can send policemen that night. So I was looking when I saw Comrade Lebaran message, but you are coming. I said, this is again unfair to me. And unfair because I thought as one of you, I should have been recruited in this exercise, not to be caught unawares, only at a time when, like the Hausaman will say, it is you use the citizen to defeat the people.